And welcome in, everyone, to another edition of the BIS podcast, broadcasting live on the Marvin Network, where our goal is to bring you updates in local government technology and to mix in a little bit of fun as well. On today's podcast, our topic is a year in review. So going back to 2024 and seeing how BIS is done. Now, there's been it's been a year, as you could say, for us here at BIS, and none other to speak on that here on the podcast today is our co-owners, B&B, as you may know them, Britt Martin and Brandon K. Gentlemen, first off, how are you doing? And great to have you back on the podcast.
Yeah, it's going good, Josh. It's definitely been a year where it's crazy. We're already closing at the end. And when you say B&B, I think of the mixed drink, Benedictine and brandy, but we'll go by Britt and Brandon, so that's good.
Okay, I got you. Hey, we might need to start having that on the air a little bit. Maybe we'll just have a little mug to say B&B on it.
Right.
It's the only way we get through this podcast. No, I'm kidding. Well, hey guys, we're here on the podcast today, and we're talking about 2024 and BIS and what we have done in 2024, things we have going on. The theme or the outline of today's podcast is going over the resilience of BIS, roadblocks we've had, and some of the rumors that are going on out there about BIS and what we've kind of learned about on going on the road and visiting clients in 2024. So, guys, why have y'all come on to talk to us today?
Yeah, I mean, I guess first, one of the main ones to address are we selling? And I think being on the road in that conference, we hear that a lot. Like, you guys sold, or are y'all selling? And I mean, the bad news is no, you're stuck with me and Brandon. So that's the bad news for the clients. We're here to stay. And some people say, we couldn't sell because me and Brandon had to go work for someone else and we couldn't pass the drug test. I think that's the other joke here. But no, seriously though, I think why is it going around? We're working with a lot of government agencies and software sellers that we want to be the number one front end provider for government for all of our clients. And a lot of those agencies we're working with normally do acquire and buy companies, and that's maybe why the rumor started. But again, we're just a reseller. We want to work with everybody and make sure that we just have a great, transparent websites and all of the offerings that we provide, and just continue to be committed to our mission and vision, which our mission is to simplify our clients' IT needs through old school customer service with ambition of improving technology in every area of government. And that's where, again, if we keep it in-house and we keep going where we're going, that's where me and Brandon and our team definitely want to provide for our customers. So
yeah, and I tried to sell my part of the business for $20 the way things went last year. Britt and Josh wouldn't take me up on it, so I'm stuck here as well.
Unfortunately, Josh's check bounced. He did try to buy it.
No wonder. I wondered what was going on through our payment system.
Yeah. Well, the other thing to talk about is online protest. We had a lot of challenges, obviously. There was rumors across the industry about how BIS sucked this year. And, I'd really like to call out the obvious. I'm pretty good about that. And even if it's ourselves, Britt's perfect. I'm not. And unfortunately, I ran the dev side. And, we stumbled in a few places. Number one, we didn't have enough folks or the right folks for the job, to be honest. We missed the mark on syncing up with our clients. It was more like playing a different tune. Our quality checks were more like quality, where are you, before going live. And training, well, let's just say that was not stellar at all. So there might be, okay, Britt and Brandon, what are you guys doing about it? Well, we've invested about $500,000 in revamping our development strategy. We've enhanced our QA now, means we're not just checking boxes, we're making sure the right boxes are checked. We've streamlined our workload to be more efficient. It's not perfect yet, but we're working on it, trying to build a better team, trying to get more of a team. We're trying to establish many client user groups for real feedback, because who knows better than the customer? You guys know what we need, and we did not do a good job on getting enough feedback from you guys on where the product's at and where it's going. We did that more when it was live, and that wasn't the right way to do it. And we've had a bit of a team reshuffle to make sure that all of our teams, and the team hears me say this all the time, we want A players in everything that we do. I will not tolerate anybody that's not an A player. And unfortunately, it took a year or two to really get the right development team and leadership team to to operate at a higher level. And a lot of the tribal knowledge across or along the 2 years of year um, um, was lost and then regained as we bring in new people. And it just took some time. It was difficult, but I do think that um, I think we've got the right team now. I think it's going to be another 3 to 6 months before we get it exactly where we want it to. But Britt and I aren't shying away from this. We're the ones steering the ship, and last year we hit some rough waters. It wasn't our best performance, but we're definitely correcting course. So I thank everybody for their patience with online protest, TNT, and any other application that didn't operate at the BIS level that you've known to expect.
Thank you so much, Brandon. And absolutely, I know we've gone through certainly our challenges this year. And one of the areas also that we had a challenge was in kind of our cybersecurity realm. And Britt, I'll kind of let you speak on this a little bit. We had a little bit of a service outage, back in September, and we had some things going on. So, Britt, if you'd like to kind of address those and what went on and what our team did to get through that. And I think it's amazing what they did. We've kind of talked about it a little bit here on the podcast about what our team did to get through that and just the amazing amount of hours they worked to get us back and going. So, Britt, I'm going to let you speak on that and kind of tell folks what went on there and what we've done to rectify it.
Yeah, definitely. I think kind of goes hand in hand with Brandon said about our growth, but like definitely our September outage, just anticipating for the growth. And we really, honestly, kind of like the Jake Paul fight and the Mike Tyson fight on Netflix, like just not anticipating that much growth, like with legislative changes and everything going on to our infrastructure. I guess the difference between the Mike Tyson fight, he was dealing with ear bites, we're dealing with gigabytes, but still the same difference going on. But now a lot of it is this the challenge of what we did bring on a lot, onboarded a lot, and that growth and the legislative changes of really the taxpayer portals and the taxpayers having to hit our sites more to get the information and the setting up for growth. It was really hard for us, and I think we just underestimated how much hits we're going to have on our site, and that really helped us grow and learn. I feel like for the future, and we upgraded our infrastructure, we upgraded for cybersecurity because the last couple of years issues with government agencies, but especially this year, I think cyber attacks are up 42% on just government agencies. So we really spent the time to kind of look into, hey, what else do we need to do on our infrastructure, on our backups, on our on how we secure our data and the infrastructure, and how quick a reliability if we do have an outage, because outages happen, how quick can we get back up and going in fire drill mode. And the team really did, I give it to them, worked so hard day and night, 24 hours in a day for weeks on end, just to make sure the data was up there. And like Brandon said, we apologize an outage and just the not seeing the growth ahead. And I think that really had to sit back and kind of look at the drawing board and develop where we're going, and make it where the next 10, 20 years, like scalability and growth. And also just thinking, hey, what else do we need on the cybersecurity side?
Absolutely, Britt. And, Brandon, I'm going to throw it back to you now. You talked about it a little bit about that company growth and kind of the, as you say, growing pains that we've kind of gone through here in the past year and the changes we've made in our leadership team and also the development team, bringing them in-house. And Brandon, as you talk about the growth of the company, if you and Britt can kind of go back and look at it, even back to year one when you started this whole thing, how much growth have you seen from year one to now, year 17 or 18 of, just what you've had to go through and what this year has made it a little bit more different than previously through other growing pains that you've seen throughout the years?
Well, I mean, I think it's Patrick Lencioni, I believe, but I believe that's who it is. I may be wrong, but it's people, process, and then profit. I think it's taken us a long time, but I feel like we've got at least 90%. This is awkward, Josh, of the people that we need at VIS. I'm kidding, Josh. But we've got A players, so we've got the right people. I think where we failed, probably 5-6 years ago, was implementing the right processes before even profit was a thing. And really this year, we're not even focusing on profit. The number one objective is to focus on systems and processes now that we do have majority of the people that we need. in the areas in which we either didn't have or the right people in the right seat in the right on the right bus going in the right direction. So, but you know what? We built our company in Texas, and we're going to keep our roots strong here. You see ads, you see emails, you see this stuff that might show you that we're in other states, but we really are majority in Texas. I'd say 80-90% of what we do is in Texas. It's the 10%, 20%, and we've got a somewhat separate staff to kind of go out and build those relationships because we do eventually have to grow. We have done more to make sure this last year to get things right. It may not appear that way, but getting the right people so that we can build better systems and then look at software that helps us operate it at a better capacity. And I just think sometimes as leaders, you got to get out of the way. And you hire the smart people, and so the dumb people, Britt and Brandon, or at least Brandon, can get out of the way. And I think but you don't know what you don't know, and it's hard to explain that. But when you're growing, sometimes you rely on people, or you try to read the books and stuff. But sometimes experience or just heartache per se. So this last year, you kind of have to go through it. I don't even know how to explain it, but we care deeply about this client base. And I know BIS is Britt and Brandon. And we've taken this year to regroup and plan for 2025. And that's about smart, sustainable growth, not just growth for growth's sake. We've done that, and that didn't work. Used to say, I don't want to get too big for my britches. And, maybe we did. But it's really just to the out of state stuff is really just to take the next steps as we do build a strong foundation. But I know what I love about you customers, and Britt and I had this at the TRCA. You'd come up to us and you'd say, hey, for 17 years, you guys, we've been in business, and I've had 2 or 3 either email, call, and Britt said the same thing. Go, you know what? 1 year you got it wrong, or 1 year it wasn't the BIS service. And that meant more to me than everything versus the negative people that really are throwing whatever at us. And you know what? They're right. And I think I'd like to say I'm proud of Britt and I. This is the first company we built. We've done it with our team by ourselves. It's not like we had outside people doing it. And at the level we're at, I don't think many people could do what we've done. And I'm not one to brag about ourselves in that capacity because I'd like to think I'm pretty humble, but and so is Britt for sure, but I really, I challenge people to like internal reflection of your self-growth. And I think really Britt and I probably have grown more this last year than ever. So if I had to reflect, I think I've definitely grown and learned a lot. And so for you customers that think it's about the money, we're scaling, or we forgot about Texas, we haven't. We just needed a little kick in the nuts, and we got it. So Britt and I aren't going anywhere, and I hope that addresses everything about the growth and the future plans at BIS.
Absolutely, Brandon. And you talk about it right there, as we've gone out and talked to clients, or at least I have, where's Britt and Brandon? We don't see Britt and Brandon no more. Well, and they're still there. They're still doing the same thing. They just kind of taking on a different role, so to speak, in growing the business like you just talked about, Brandon. And as we go into our final thoughts that we'll get to here in just a second, but as you talk about some of those future things that we have coming up, I'll throw this to both of you. What are some things that we have coming for this next year in 2025 that our customers can expect from BIS?
Yeah, like Brandon said, I mean, obviously the growth that we have gone in, and I'm on keto because I guess I've grown a lot, Brandon said, but no, just the growth and just sitting back and really reflecting. I think it's 2025. I think you're going to see making sure that we are sustaining our customer service, and we're really focusing on the customer service aspect, because that's me and Brandon, if we're not in the field as much, but we want to make sure we're multiplying and duplicating ourselves through you guys like Josh and the rest of our sales team, and making sure that the customers are our number one priority. And I think that's what they're going to see next year. It's like, hey, as we grow, as we go through, like challenges and opportunity to kind of test and rise to the next level. And I think they're going to see that with our whole group of where we're going, the sustainability, our operations, and again, making sure that the customers are taken care of. So,
yeah. And I mean, honestly, what else would we do? I mean, this industry is the best. We grew up in it since, I was, 22, something like that. And, I liked it that I'm 42 at this recording on 11/22/2024. But, I mean, if in the next 40 years, I hope 30 years, I mean, what, retire, go do something else, sell the company and go do what? When you've got such a close knit group, not only with our company that we built, that feels like family, but also the clients. And so for me, it's like, I want it to be a great thing, but I think we should be allowed to, grow and mature and recognize that, face your faults and deal with them, but also, but we don't want to lose sight of who helped build this, and it's you guys that trusted in me and Britt when we were still eating our boogers, but we do love you guys, and you may not see our faces as much, but know that maybe we're working on the business back at the office to ensure things are running better for you guys. And also, you should want to see the new faces and the younger generation, I'd say, and the new sales teams and whatnot. So, okay, there's other people like Britt and Brandon that would care, but they need to get out and build those relationships. So, unfortunately, you got 5 or 10 Britt and Brandon's out there in the world, or at least Texas. You may not want that, but anyway, we love this industry. We're not going anywhere, and we're always available. And for all of you that have Britt's cell phone or mine, we're a text away, and I can't thank you enough for the ones that have the hard conversations with us, because one person may complain. Give us positive feedback or constructive criticism. There's 10 more people out there that wanted to say something. So I'm going to encourage you. Britt and I cannot fix it unless you say something. And usually 80% of the time we know about it because of the great team that we have, because they come back and go, hey, Britt and Brandon, this happened. If you get a call or a text, this is what's going on. So unless you guys continue to encourage us and give us feedback on where we need to improve, that's the only way we're going to be able to change for the future. And hopefully we get it right in 2025.
Wonderful, guys. And just to let you know, we took a vote as a sales team now that we have cutouts of both Brandon and Britt. That way, if it is a client that is not maybe too happy with us, we'll have a cutout, and either Stoney will be Britt and I'll be Brandon. And that way, we'll just pop out our faces like, hey, it's Josh and Stoney. Hey, now if you want to yell at the other guys, here they are.
That's actually pretty funny. People want to see Britt and Brandon. Y'all should do that and walk in wearing our faces. You might get shot, but he's got a mask.
No, guys, y'all have talked about a lot of great things that we're doing as a company. Obviously, the roadblocks that we've had here in 2024, but also the big key is the resilience that our team has shown to get through those roadblocks here in 2024. So before we kind of sign it off today, is any final thoughts you'd like to say, going into the new year in 2025? It'll quickly be here before we know it. Anything you'd like to say to everybody out there as we head into this new endeavor for BIS?
Have a happy Thanksgiving and a Merry Christmas at being at the end of the year. If you're listening to this next year, I hope you had a wonderful holiday. That's all I got.
Again, just thank you guys for 2024 for our growth, and really looking forward to 2025, and excited to do business with everybody. But not only, like Brandon said, to spend time, and it's like a big family. We grew up in it, and just excited to keep providing for our government family, but just excited what we have coming down the pipe. So.
Well, we definitely appreciate you guys, and I can even say, it's wonderful to work for two gentlemen that make the work experience so much fun. It's a different work experience than anywhere you probably could go to and do for somebody else. So again, everyone, for speaking on behalf of all the employees of BIS, we love you both, and we thank you for letting us be who we are, but also getting to work for such a great company and being the forefront for your vision that you want for your company.
Thanks, Josh.
Yeah, thank you, Josh.
No problem at all, guys. All right, folks. Well, that's going to wrap it up for this edition of the BIS podcast. Again, we've been broadcasting live on the Marvin Network. I want to thank our guests today, Brandon Kay and Britt Martin, B&B, the co-owners of BIS Consultants. Thank you all so much for joining us today. And until next time, so long and goodbye.